as she was leading me back, she said, "Oh, do you have deodorant on?" And I was like, no, the one thing I was told in advance was don't have deodorant. Hey guys, well, I am here in the parking garage of my doctor's office, and I thought this would kind of be a cooler shot than it's turning out to be, so apologies for that. But yeah, I'm in the car because I am here about to get my first mammogram. I am of a certain age. I'm getting my first mammogram today. I don't know if I'm at the point yet where I get one every year, or or if it's going to be like every other year or something. I don't have any like family history or risk factors for breast cancer, but my doctor had suggested that I do one this year just to kind of like have a baseline going forward. So I thought that I had like a pretty good idea of how they work, and then someone mentioned to me, "Oh, and you can't wear deodorant," and I was like, wait, what? So I kind of wondered like what other tips I hadn't gotten yet about getting my mammogram. So I just asked about it on my Facebook page, and I got so many great responses from friends who've done them before, and also people like me who are about to do it for the first time and wanted some advice. So I'm going to share everything here in a video that I have been told in advance, as well as my own experience when I come back out. So I'm gonna try to like categorize this in order. First topic is tips for even just scheduling your mammogram. So the first tip was to avoid scheduling it around the time of your period, because you could be more tender and that will make the whole thing just more uncomfortable. Also, if you've had a COVID vaccine or booster within the past 6 weeks, it can just cause your lymph nodes to appear differently. And so I don't know if you need to schedule around it. Maybe it would just be easier to do so, but otherwise I think they'll just ask before your appointment if you've had a booster recently. Now, the bulk of the advice I got is in the like tips before you go in category. So first thing was, somebody suggested if you have naturally tender breasts, you might want to take some Tylenol in advance. Also, everyone was saying wear a separate top and bottom, don't wear a dress, because if you're wearing separate pieces, they will let you keep your pants on. You just have to take the top off. Also, don't wear jewelry, especially a necklace. Just to be safe, like I didn't wear earrings. I don't know if my head's gonna be involved in this, but definitely no necklace, and like pull your hair back. And then here we get to like some interesting things. So somebody had said don't wear makeup with mica in it. That's like the little like the flecks that give makeup kind of a glittery appearance. And then there's the whole don't wear deodorant tip. So apparently this is due to the aluminum in antiperspirant. So technically, if you have aluminum free deodorant, it's okay, but it's just easier for them to say don't wear deodorant. And actually one friend had suggested just treat yourself to a new bra every year before your scan, so you know that there's no deodorant on it, because apparently she'd had like a really kind of scary situation where some deodorant from her bra had contaminated her, and she ended up having to like get called back for additional scans, and it was sort of a scary couple days. And really it was just because of the deodorant. Technically, I guess you can wear some things, but it's just easier to say don't wear anything. Don't wear any lotions or creams. But all that said, everyone was kind of just saying like don't really worry about what you have on, because they will give you some wipes to clean yourself off beforehand. And then finally, for right now, is like the when you get there category. So I was sort of prepared for this. You will be tucked and pushed and contoured by the person doing the scan. You're gonna have to hold your breath for a few seconds while they do the scan. And also people were saying don't worry if they do call you back for like some different views. Sometimes they just need like a more clear scan, or you might have dense tissue. I think especially if it's your first time and you don't really know like what your tissues are like, or they might find like some little benign thing that they're just gonna monitor, but it's fine. So basically, like, don't be nervous if they do call you in for additional scanning. So I'm going to head in for my appointment, and I don't think I'm going to take the whole camera with me, but maybe I'll like snap some pictures in there if I can, and then I will catch up when I get back out. Okay, so I'm in a different parking lot, obviously, but I wanted to record my thoughts on this before I got home and forgot everything. So when I got there, I checked in. They gave me a wristband. I guess since I was only there for a couple minutes, but I was like checked in for a procedure. And someone came and got me from the waiting room and took me back and showed me this room, a little changing room. And so there were gowns, I guess there were 2 different sizes. I don't know, they were pink and blue, and she didn't say which was which, and it didn't say on the package. I picked a pink one. The other ladies I saw in there picked blue ones, so I don't know. But they had 2 different kinds of gowns in a little cabinet. They did also have the wipes for wiping yourself off, but actually, as she was leading me back, she said, "Oh, do you have deodorant on?" And I was like, no, the one thing I was told in advance was don't have deodorant. So she didn't tell me about the wipes, but I saw them in a little basket. So there was gowns, wipes, you just had to change your top half, and then there was like a little waiting room right outside the changing room for the people who were in gowns. And actually I noticed as I was leaving, it said like gowned women's waiting area or something. So I saw a woman with a Rothy's purse in there, so we had a little chat while we were waiting. And there were also little like lockers in there. They didn't actually lock, they just kind of, they had like a little knob. So she said, you know, don't put your purse in there, but you can leave like your shirt. So I did leave my shirt and my hoodie in the little locker cabinet thing. And then just a couple minutes later, the same woman who had brought me in took me back to the imaging room. So the mammogram scanner itself is sort of like a machine, you know, that raises and lowers on like a vertical thing. I don't know. And, you know, so she got it to the right height for me. And then we just did like one side at a time. So one side, you slip your arm out of that side of the gown and she will position you where you need to go. And then when they're done with that side, you can put that arm back in and take your other arm out. So you're not standing there like fully topless, which was, you know, a little more comfortable. And then she really did do like a lot of positioning, but she wasn't like gripping and grabbing and you know, it was not uncomfortable. It was very clinical, like she was doing, you know, her specific job. She did also in advance, I have like a little mole on my side, and she put, it was sort of like a band-aid with like a hole cut out of it that she put around it to kind of mark like, hey, there is a thing here, we are aware of that. So that was nice. I don't think it's going to be an issue. And obviously I know I have a mole, and like I go to the dermatologist and the mole is monitored. So I don't think that's going to be anything, but they were just like marking that there was a known thing there. So the front views, pretty self-explanatory because most people's chests, I guess, project out the front. So yeah, you just kind of sit it on a tray and like a top thing comes down. I guess there's like different sizes and shapes of top things, maybe for different purposes. Sort of like a clear tray. So she picked a certain, you know, rectangular-y kind of one, and it squished down, and that was it. You do just have to hold your breath just for a second. The machine will like beep a few times, and she goes, okay, hold your breath, and probably no more than a count of 5, and then you can release your breath. So the front one's straightforward. Then you do the side views. So the whole machine kind of tilts like a 45-degree angle, and you do have to kind of put your arm up like onto the side of the machine. That's where it starts getting a little more like contortion-y, but nothing was uncomfortable. Nothing was like a move that I don't think most people would be able to do. And even like I was not at all uncomfortable. Like I didn't experience any pain or anything. I'm not really like a tender person. I could see if you usually did experience more tenderness, it might be just like a little uncomfortable. And actually, like as I've been sitting here, I am like, maybe there's like a little bit of not tenderness or soreness, but like I can feel like I've been like tugged at. But it really did not hurt at all. It was not painful. It was not uncomfortable. The technician herself may be very comfortable, and she knew that it was my first time doing it, and she like explained the whole process and like, okay, we're gonna do 4 different views, and like here's when you should expect to hear back. So for me, she said they usually try to read the scans same day, and like I'll be able to probably get the results same day in my like online portal website. Otherwise, I guess they also would call. That might not happen today. And then if they do need me to come back, so like I mentioned before, especially if it's your first time, there might just be something that like they just want to like get a better view of or whatever. So if they do need me to come back, that would then be like at a future visit. I wasn't sure from hearing other people talk about it if it was like, now you go wait and they'll look at your scans, and then if they need you, like they'll call you back in right then. That would be a different visit, and it would be a different type of visit. This one is just like a baseline, like regular annual scan, and if I had to come back, then it would be like a diagnostic scan. So overall, it really was not bad at all. Actually, I must have gotten there maybe like 10 minutes early just because I didn't know how much paperwork and stuff I'd have to do, and walking out was 3 minutes after my appointment time. So the whole thing overall was very, very quick. Like I said, not painful, not like awkward. You know, this is their job. So I always tell myself with doctors, like they see, you know, naked people and all kinds of bodies and all kinds of things. Like this is just their everyday job. It is probably boring to them. You are nothing special. You're nothing they haven't seen before. So like, don't be nervous for that reason. But she did do like a really good job of like making me feel comfortable and explaining everything. So yeah, whether I have to go every year now or whether it's like every couple years for a little bit until I'm a little older, now I know what to expect. Now I have a baseline. I feel good about it. And yeah, you know, it's like the tail end of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So just a reminder, if you're due for this or any other medical procedure, you know, regular checkup, if you're having any kind of symptoms of anything, I always tell people, like, please don't hesitate to get it checked out or do what you need to do. So hopefully that was helpful to you and maybe like allayed some fears or nervousness that some other people had if it was your first time getting a mammogram. If you like this, give me a thumbs up on the video, and I will see you next time. So I am actually still out running errands after my appointment. It's like 1 hour after my original appointment time. But I just wanted to kind of close the loop because I just got a message in my online portal here of my test results. So just to let you know, it says no evidence of malignancy. Annual screening is recommended. Baseline screening mammogram, no reported symptoms. Full bilateral digital mammography was performed, including 3D tomosynthesis imaging. Computer-assisted detection was utilized during the interpretation of this examination. No suspicious masses seen. No suspicious architectural distortion. No suspicious calcifications. So sounds like this was the first of my now annual exams, and nothing was found this time, so we have a good clean baseline in case anything does crop up, and hopefully nothing does. And again, thanks for following along with me, and don't put off getting any exam that you need.